Welcome, citizen, to another Starcraft Nation broadcast. I'm your host, Venerati, and in today's cast, we're going to be seeing the second game from the Cyborg Cup Finals in between Mouzhasu and our Zerg champion hero man, Dimaga. So, I don't know, he's champion hero man, whatever. I really like Dimaga's playstyle with the Zerg. And, you know, actually, thinking about it, after watching so many of Dimaga's games, I'm kind of leaning towards him as my favorite Zerg player. I know I said I had a lot of favorites and whatnot, but thinking about him, I kind of like that. Dimaga, really the crucible of my favoritism would be if he went up against Select, and I want to see how he handles Select, because Idra used to be, but he's kind of waning in my opinion poll. So, you know, let me know what y'all think. Actually, I think Idra is probably one of the most popular ones, other than Fruit Eater, but I'm only talking about us Americans right now. Either way, getting focused here, we see some scouting going on by both of our players. Both of this, of course, very pivotal stuff. Going to be letting them know what their enemy's doing and how they can go ahead and counter. Now, this is kind of early, but Dimaga is going to come in, Mouzhasu is going to be able to come in here, see if there's not an early spawning pool, know that there's not going to be super early pressure coming from his Zerg opponent. Likewise, Dimaga can come in here, see that there's nothing going on this early. We don't even actually have a gateway down for him. As we're about to see one, yes, we do actually have a probe coming out here. We'll be taking care of that. Now, we are on Jungle Basin. Jungle Basin kind of offers a unique set of circumstances as far as the map itself goes, because we do have this cozy natural, we have this tiny ramp right here, but we have the destructible rock. So it's kind of a false sense of security, as we'd like to see something back here just to make sure these rocks aren't being broken, because if you're caught with your pants down and your army, and by that I mean like your army's deployed out in the field, and all of a sudden the rocks are gone, and all of a sudden it's like, bam, blah, 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 and, you know, there's guys in there, and, yeah, so we have, you mad, what? Not really sure what that is, but, oh, now this is kind of interesting. We see Dimaga actually throwing down a second hatchery in his main, not actually putting out here in the natural. Not sure if he was expecting Mouzhasu to be throwing a probe or a pylon down here and trying to block that, or if he wants to apply some early pressure off of the one base. Not really sure about that. Not really, I don't know, actually. That kind of seems, because why wouldn't you put it in the natural? I don't know. I'm not inside of his head. We'll see shortly. Either way, Mouzhasu grabbing the second assimilator as the first cybernetics core goes on, not the second cybernetics core. And so we see him bring out a zealot right there. Not going to be, looks like he's not going to be going for the stalker build as we saw last time, as the blink stalkers really didn't work out too well for him last time, as Dimaga really put a lot of pressure on his upon his opponent, not necessarily super early, but just before your Protoss opponent can really start get those 4 gates churning. He was up there with a lot of Zerglings and basically going pew-pew all over those units, and they didn't like that, so they died, and it was a problem. And he lost. So Dimaga right here, being a little bit of a jerk, will be blocking that pylon for just a little bit, but we do actually have a sentry coming out here. We'll be we'll be making the drone kind of regret that it was ever born, as this little disruptor beam, is it disruptor? Yeah, disruptor beam will be deploying, will be attacking, as we see a little bit. We don't even actually see it fully deploying as the micro right there. Nice. We'll be getting it down to 6. Will it, I'm surprised we didn't actually see him grab one of the Vespene geysers just to be spiteful. Meanwhile, over on Dimaga's base, we do actually see him grabbing the natural, so we're going to see a total of 3 hatcheries here relatively soon. So Dimaga is going to have some serious production capabilities here. And we do see a Baneling nest, so no roaches just quite yet. We didn't see roaches in the last one either, so sticking to his guns, we are going to see him keeping with these Zergs. We do see Metabolic Boost will be finishing up here relatively soon. This one probe, unfortunately, is about to be dispatched because those Zerglings are not really digging what he's doing. We do see the Warp Gate technology will be chrono boosting out, and I really like the oh, wait, oh, wow. We actually have hallucination. This is very the most unused skill I've seen from Protoss. I mean, other carriers and motherships, but those have all pretty much been put in the museum as of now. So hallucination is a pretty awesome tool, because these sentries can create something that can run around the map for an extended period of time, yeah, for a full minute, And if it dies, it dies. Whoop de freaking do. But it gives you vision. That's awesome. It's like the best scout ever. So instead of sacrificing your probes, you get to throw out this hallucination. And hell, even the units of Dimaga will go ahead and attack it like it's something real. Even though if you see some units come out there that might be a little bit too early, as far as tech tree wise, you might get wise to it. But either way, really awesome. We see actually 4 sentries come down. We see the chrono boosting of that hallucination. So Mouzhasu really wants to know what's going on in Dimaga's space, because if you let your enemy go unchecked for too long, you really have to start to worry. It's really unsettling as far as, what does he do? Well, I mean, is he about to come out there with a freaking herd of Ultralisks, or what's going on here? So either way, we do have a little bit of picketing right here. Oh, and we actually, there we go, we have a Phoenix coming out here. It is a hallucination, but it is going to be giving him sight nonetheless. So really, really digging that. It's really sad that you don't see it more often. Either way, Dimaga's base sitting here will be getting a lair. The scout taking a couple of pot shots out on that Overlord, but the Overlord not really suffering any actual damage. It's just going to be cosmetic, and it's going to be some blemishes on his face. So we'll be taking a couple more pot shots. The Overlord's not digging that. The Queen's going to be going pew-pew, and it does actually go down. Now, the death of it will really be the indicator of what that was, as that death was definitely not the same kind of death animatic that the Phoenixes really have. So Dimaga, if he was watching that, will easily be able to catch that. We see another Phoenix coming out here. Of course, it is a hallucination Phoenix. So going back to the base of Mouzhasu, we do see a Forge coming down, and he is going to be chrono boosting out the ground weapons level 1, and we actually have an Immortal. So the Immortal will be really good at popping roaches or anything of that nature, but as far as Zerglings go, it is not going to be apt at that, as the Zergling, if it gets caught by the Zergling's attack speed is basically going to render that hardened shield useless, and its attack speed is so slow that it can pop those Zerglings. It's just, it's really meant to be popping roaches. Though we do see a Roach Warren here for Dimaga, and we do actually see Glael Reconstitution coming in here. Where is his? There it is, yeah. So we do actually see the Roach Warren right there. We do see the range attack and the ground carapace coming out for him, and we see 2 expansions coming down at once for Dimaga. So Dimaga really going to be pushing for dominance of the map, as Mouzhasu's really just kind of been chilling in his base, not been pushing out, hasn't been probing, kind of figuring out what's going on. We do have the robotic space sitting here. We don't have Thermal Lance upgrade coming, but we do see 1 Colossus coming out there for Mouzhasu, bring up another gateway as well. So we're going to see a few more gateway units coming out, the real mixture of it, because you do want the gateway units at the feet of your Colossus to kind of just eat the fire, because the Colossus, although they can throw out massive amount of pain, they really can't soak it up. They're not good at soaking up that damage, and that's why you see them being sniped so often. Now, if you have the proper ground forces to kind of augment that the Colossus, it's fine. The Colossus, if they do try to snipe it, they're going to be taking massive DPS from the ground forces, and they're going to suffer for it one way or the other. So Mouzhasu will be moving out here. He does have 2 Immortals, 1 Colossus without the Thermal Lance upgrade. We do see him actually killing, I believe that was a Zergling right there, yes. We'll be occupying the Xel'Naga Tower, so Dimaga will be seeing this, will be aware of the fact that he is moving out. Probes will be deploying, looking to expand themselves, or even just as a scout. So Dimaga's expansions will be threatened right here, as we do see him moving out here with roaches. These roaches are not going to be so well suited against this army, as we do actually see Force Field coming down, splitting up the army of Dimaga. So Dimaga is really not in a good position right here, as these cells are up front, really soaking up that damage, while the Colossus is just sitting there pinging on, as well as the Immortals. These Immortals are just excellent anti-roach build. We actually see a bad rally right there, as these roaches trying to rally past this little ball of Mouzhasu, and another roach just kind of walking by and say, hey, don't kill me, and that's not actually what's going to go down. So Dimaga right here will be losing this expansion. 2 more roaches going down. This bad rally. Ugh. Bad rallies make me angry. Ugh. It's just sad, at least have them attack. But, that's not... actually, what's happening, we had 1 more roach trying to walk out of there, and this Immortal not liking what's going down. So we do see that expansion going down for Dimaga.